Now let's see some of the practical steps that you can follow to create a scope management plan. So in this video, we'll provide a detailed walkthrough of the steps to create a scope management plan, ensuring the alignment with the organizational objectives. By following these steps, you can create a robust plan to define, validate, and control the project scope effectively. Again, to start with understanding the scope management plan. So, as we said before, the scope management plan is a comprehensive framework that defines how the project scope will be defined, managed, validated, and controlled. It ensures a structured approach to avoid the scope creep and maintain the project alignment. The key or the key inputs that we have already explained, including the OPAs, the EEFs, and the project charter and the project management plan. So the first step here in involving let's say, reviewing the critical inputs like the project charter to understand the high level, let's say, requirements or the scope or deliverables that were defined on the initiating phase. Also, you might need to look into the project management plan, following by the OPAs and EFFs. And these inputs provide the foundational elements required to tailor the scope management plan to specific and organizational needs. This is, as we say, the first step, as we say that we have to find the key inputs to our process. So the next step that we are going to cover is to define the scope management processes. So defining the processes for managing the scope involves outlining how the scope will be defined, validated, and controlled. Additionally, it should include a clear guidelines for handling scope changes to maintain or to control the changes throughout the project lifecycle. Next step here we are gonna follow is to engage the stakeholders. Engaging the stakeholders ensure their expectations are captured and reflected in the scope management plan. Meetings can serve as a platform for collaboration and alignment, reducing the risks of conflicts later in the project. After that, you have engaged with stakeholders, you need to use these tools and techniques to ensure that you are doing this practice in a more effective way. So, using techniques like expert judgment, data analysis, and facilitation techniques or meetings ensures that the scope management plan is a comprehensive and practical. These tools helps in refining the processes and addressing any uncertainty. Once you complete utilizing these tools, you need to document the plan that you came with. So documenting the scope management plan involves creating a well-structured document that includes sections such as the roles, responsibilities, and scope-related processes. A clear and organized plan ensures the ease of use and the consistency between overall scope management plan. After you document the plan and you start, let's say, starting with the requirements gathering and in the execution also phase when you have to see whether these scope related items are being developed and worked on. So you need to validate the plan. So validation involves reviewing the draft scope management plan with the key stakeholders to ensure the alignment with the project objectives and the organizational goals. And this step fosters buy-in and reduces the risk of feature discrepancies. Once you validate the plan and you obtain, let's say, let's say the agreement with the stakeholder, now you need to obtain the formal approval from the stakeholders or the project sponsor. So the final step here is to obtain the formal approval from the project sponsor and stakeholder, and this approval signifies the consequences and readiness for to implement the scope management plan. To summarize our session, so we say that creating a scope management plan involves reviewing the inputs, defining the processes as, let's say, key steps that you need to follow in a practical way to ensure that you are having scope management or an accurate scope management plan. So we say that you need to involve, reviewing the inputs and defining the processes, also engaging the stakeholders and obtaining the formal approvals, validating the scope as along. So following these steps ensure a comprehensive plan that aligns with the organizational objectives and the stakeholder needs.